Welcome all once again in Std.12 ચેનલ. દરેક દર્શક મિત્રોનું હું કૃપેશ નાયક હાર્દિક સ્વાગત કરું છું Std.12 ચેનલમાં. Std.12 ચેનલના દરેક સબસ્ક્રાઈબરનો હું હૃદયપૂર્વક આભાર માનું છું. I am heartily thankful to all subscribers to subscribe this channel, and those who are new viewers, please subscribe this channel to get educational notification on your email, and you can get so many details for the education. Now we can start our second part of the second chapter of Standard 12, that is indicators of growth and development. In first part we can see there are so many differences in the growth and development, and there are indicators are also there. Development are there, definitions of development and limitations are also there. In this video you can see my link of app in the comment box, so that you can install it and you can subscribe also, and you can get so many educational data also there. Now start. Some of the revise are there, indicators of growth and development. In recent past, in last video we can see so many of that, meaning of economic growth, limitations of that, then differences between economic growth and development. Then we are discussing about indicators in growth rate of national income, indicators of per capita income. Now second is very important, we are discussing on same. In the last video we are stop at growth rate of per capita income. Here, according to this indicator, when the per capita income of the country increased for a long period continuously, it can be said that economic development has taken place. Per capita income is average income per head. Per capita income is gross national income of a country divided by the population of a country. Very important for section B and section A. Division between the total national income and the population of a country, that we can find out per capita income. So it is average concept. The indicator takes into accounts the population of a country too, and hence per capita income as an indicator is superior to the national income as an indicator. The expert of UNO, that is United Nations Organization, have recommended per capita income as an indicators of economic development. Just as national income, if per capita income is high and if its rate of growth rate is high, it can be said that development is taken place. If the country's per capita income rises at faster rate, development is said to be fast. Very important. If the country's per capita income rises at a faster rate, development is said to be fast. If the per capita income grows at a slow rate, development is slow. If the per capita income is constant, there is a stagnation, and per capita income falls, development is negative. So these are the indicators for the per capita income for the development. If the national per capita income is going high, going low, stagnant, same the growth of the per capita income affect our development. Here the table we can see 2.2 World Bank and Economic Survey 2015-16 data is there. Norway, America, Sri Lanka, China and Pakistan, the per capita income of America is 52,000 and Norway 62,000, and the growth rate of per capita income is 1.1 and 1.6, very lower. Why? Because they have in 5 digit of total per capita income and they just maintain it, not more. But in India we can see 6.0 and China 6.7. So they rapidly want to get this type of 5 digit per capita income in comparison with some developed country, so that our per capita growth rate is very higher than other developing country like Pakistan and some of the other developing country, and Sri Lanka is only 3.6. But in Norway and America the per capita income is in 5 digit, but India in still 4 digits. So if we want to get in 5 digit per capita income, our growth rate, our annual growth rate is 6.0, is move to maybe possible 7, 8, 9, 10, it will be touch the magical data of 5 digit compared with another country. Now tabular expression is also there. The survey is from 2015-16, so in today it may be go more than 6 and 7 and 8. There are also limitations for the per capita income. It is only estimated. National income calculation are only and only per 10 years. So every year the population growth rate, birth rate are going in same manner. So it is predictable, it is estimate data is there, not actual data is there. Why? Because every 10-year census is conducted, and between this year only and only the growth rate of population we can estimate data, so not real picture is going with the per capita income. Second, difficulty in the calculation of national income and per capita income. Already we have seen the difficulty in the calculation of the national income. Same the problem arise in the per capita income, because per capita income is the part of national income and population, division of national income and population. So here different difficulty here also occurred in per capita income calculation. Third is per capita income shows only an average. Here per capita income shows us only and only average income. On the basis of this average, no decision can be taken and state development of the countries cannot be decided. With increased per capita income, we cannot judge that everyone are equalized in the income. If there is a equalized, we cannot find any beggars or any unemployed in the country, but still rich become a richer and poor become a poorer. So the distribution of income are not in equalization, and per capita income is only average. So if per capita income is going in a large mode, it doesn't mean difficult, it doesn't mean standard of living are very increased. Now, defective indicators. Per capita income of a country is not actual income that a citizen gets. Per capita income is an indicator hides more than its reveals, and hence it not a correct indicators. With the help of these 5 indicators limitations, another concept are there, that is PQLI. PQLI stands for Improvement in Quality of Life Index, Physical Quality of Life Index. The objective of the economic development is to improve standard of living of the people. For that, if the economic development has taken place and how much more or less is to be measured, and for this physical quality of life index as an indicator is accepted. What is physical life index? What is PQLI? What are the components are considered, that we discuss now. So here quality of life is depend on some of the factors, that is consumption of food, fuel, other non-durable goods, consumption of durable and semi-durable goods, consumption of service during a period times of person of a group. This consumption standard or living standard determines the physical quality of life. Hence, consumption or living standard is identified as PQLI. If the living standard of people goes up, it can be said the PQLI of life has gone up. Now, aspects which are included in this, what are the fields should be considered while we are consider the PQLI as indicators of development. So first is food, that is calorie, protein, fat proportion. Health and medical service, that is doctor per person. Housing and clothing facilities, average number of people living in house. Education and entertainment. Second, transportation, communication and information services. Energy, population having access to pure drinking water. Average life expectancy, infant mortality rate, drainage facility. If there is improvement in about 10 aspects, then it can be said that there is improvement in the PQLI. If there is no improvement, then it can be found out as the very as to where improvement is needed, and remedial measures can be adopted to increase the rate of the development. Every indicators can be relatively expressed, that indicators which has be highly and valued given as 100 points. Very important for the MCQ. PQLI, the value of PQLI is maximum dash, that is 100. Now developed country give greater importance for the improvement the PQLI. PQLI have 3 main determinants points that we discuss now, and very important. Morris Davis presented the PQLI concept. PQLI is represented by Morris Davis, economist, and he considered below 3 points, that is extent of education, life expectancy and infant mortality rate. Very important. Extent of education, life expectancy and infant mortality rate. What is extent of education? So literacy level of the country determines situation of the education. The percentage of population educated out of the total population determines the extent of education. Means how many percentage are literate, how many have their knowledge of writing and reading at least one language. That is important out of the total population. It is one of the important components of the PQLI. Second is life expectancy. Number of years a child is expected to live at the time of birth is known as a life expectancy. It shows that average life. If life expectancy rises, it can be said that the medical service of the country is good. Then infant mortality rate. During the year, very important for 1 marks in section B, you have been asked the definition of infant mortality rate. So during the year, number of infants who die before 1 year out of 1000 births is known as the infant mortality rate. If infant mortality rate is false, it can be said that the healthcare services of country is very good. So infant mortality rate means during a 1 year, number of infants who die before 1 year. If they have not completed their 1 year out of 1000, here 1000 is the measurement rule in percentage. Here consider as a 1000 in any particular year, and those infants who die before 1 year, that is infant mortality rate. So PQLI consider literacy level plus life expectancy index plus infant mortality rate. The combination of these three, it is called PQLI. Why there is only 3 determinants are there? What are the reason behind it? So first is dependable data for all these factors can be acquired for all countries. Literacy rate, infant mortality rate, education, it will be easily we can find out. So there is the 3 points are there. All these 3 factors depict the result and no effort. It will be easily we can find out. There is no put any efforts. All these 3 factors are product based and hence fulfill the justifications of standard for the performance comparison. It will be easily compared with each other. Literacy. This is very important measuring role of physical quality life. Increase in the literacy and education so rise in the welfare of the individual, human efficiency and the necessary aspect for the nation development. And second, life expectancy. Increase in the life expectancy is measure of social environment and well-being. It is a reflection and consequences of nutrition, medical care and environmental situation. If the life expectancy is more than that, development is going on. Infant mortality rate, it is reflection of the social situation and welfare. It is an accurate reflection of the ability of the pure drinking water, environmental house, status of woman and role of mother. These all are very important. If the 1 year before those who are died and in per thousand, if infant mortality is higher, then it will be say that the house, facility, status of woman, role of mother are not going bad, good. But if it is positive, that it is development. Formulation of PQLI. How we can formulate PQLI? How the economy are consider this point? How the minimum value is 0 and maximum are 100? How can they evaluate there? So first is every indicator, that is literacy, life expectancy, infant mortality rate is given 100 weightage. Every components have equal 100 weightage. Then on the basis of performance of the determinants in the country, it graded between 0 to 100. Very important. PQLI is between dash to dash in MCQ or one sentence you have been asked in questions in exam. So 0 is the minimum value and 100 is the maximum value. So 0 and 100 are very important. A total of these grades of 3 factors are summed up. We can sum up literacy, life expectancy, infant mortality rate, which are given in 100 weightage between 0 to 100, and it all are the sum up. Then this total is divided by 3. That is an average. These data are derived as a defined PQLI. Important aspect is there. PQLI closer to 100 better. PQLI closer to 100 better is performance of all 3 indicators of PQLI in a country. PQLI closer to 0 bad in the performance of all 3 indicators in PQLI country. PQLI is always between 0 to 100, not 0 to 1. 0 to 1 is considered as a HDI that we will discuss later on, but here PQLI is always between 0 to 100. PQLI can be used to compare 2 states within a country or 2 different countries also. Higher PQLI, more is economic development, lower PQLI, lesser in the economic development. Positive aspect is also there. PQLI include factors like literacy, life expectancy and health, which touch the standard of living of human being. PQLI is better index when components to be considered as a capita index. PQLI is an indicator of economic development, has lesser drawback as a negative national income or the per capita income. These are the important factors are that with PQLI comparison can be made between different countries, different groups of countries or different states of country. We can easily compare this PQLI with our country to other country, our state to other state. So data is very comparatively. We can create PQLI of urban and rural also different, female and male also different, and we can compare these two with this data. Even there are 6 limitations for the PQLI which not useful for the comparison our country to other, but it is better than national income and per capita income components of indicators. Now what are the limitations of there? First is PQLI consider only 3 aspects. There are so many categories remain untouched. So that second is only average defect. We have to divide it 3 by 3 weightage of the components, and it is on only average. Decision cannot be made on the basis of the average. If a country present PQLI is high, it cannot be generalized that economic development is high as against country. It is not right. It is not right to give equal weightage of 100 to all indicators. All 3 aspects do not have same importance in human being life. Everyone have not educated, everyone have not better expectancy of age, but everyone have their own different taste and different requirements. So 3 indicators are maybe some of stage are totally different for human life. Growth of the income as high importance is PQLI, and ignoring that is not possible. The PQLI of rich countries rises at a slower rate because of average life cannot be increased beyond the particular limits. So as per condition of the present scenario after 2003, instead of 3 aspects, there 3 more aspects were included in PQLI as presented, and here now the 4 indicators are there, that is HDI, Human Development Index. The most recent indicator of development is the Human Development Index. Very important for MCQ or short questions. United Nations Development Program, UNDP, very important. United Nations Development Program presented the concept of HDR in 1990. In the report of HDI, Human Development Index was presented as a measurement of the development. Along with economic aspect, the measurement HDI emphasizes more on non-economic aspect too. Indian economists too contributed in involving the HDI on the basis of the evaluation made regarding the development efforts is in different countries and different way. 2010 in the minimum and the maximum value which were used for the HDI in 1990. Now determinants point, as we can see in PQLI, there are 3 determinants point also there: age, education and life expectancy. Here are also some 3 components for the HDI, that is life expectancy, knowledge and good standard of living. What is life expectancy here? It is totally similar for the PQI, but here life expectancy sense of what is the expected number of years a person will live at the time of birth of the population of a country determines the value. If less than 50 years, that country is said to be deficient in health. Higher the life expectancy, better the HDI. Second is knowledge, that is literacy or education. To know the quantum of knowledge. Adult, very important, adult literacy in the percent is calculated here. People in the age group of 15 years and above, very important in knowledge or literacy or education components. Here people in the age of more than 50 years are included. 2 aspects are also included: first, number of years for the schooling, and second, expected number of years of schooling. The gap between expected and actual number of years of schooling is taken to be derived the value. Last one is good standard of living. Standard of living refers to the availability of the pure drinking water, medical services, good situation, infant mortality rate, percentage of the unbalanced and malnutrition children's per capita calories availability per day, mortality rate, infant below 5 years of age, protein and fat availability, etc. are considered, which depend on the income index and per capita gross national income in the purchasing power parity. So these three concepts for the HDI. Now what is the important aspect for that? The maximum value of HDI is 1. Very important for the MCQ and one sentence. The maximum value of HDI is 1, which is based on 3 standards. The value of HDI in the range of 0 to 1. Some of the students are confused between these two. The PQLI is 0 to 100 while the HDI is 0 to 1. So keep in mind that this is very important for section B or section A for the 1 marks. The country whose HDI is closer to 1 is considered dash, that is small development. In one sentence you've been asked in section A, the country whose HDI is closer to 1 is considered as a dash, that is called more development. It gets a higher ranking in the HDI. That the country whose HDI is further from and is considered less development, it gets lower ranking in the HDI. In 2014, Norway ranked first with 0.944 HDI, while India with 0.609 rank 130 out of 188 countries. So India is on the stage of 130 among the 188 countries. Why? Because there are 0.609 HDI rank, while the Norway is on the top. Why? Because it is very closer to 1, that is 0.944. So here human development indicators for some countries for the World SDR report, the Human Development Report of 2040, which was published. The table we can see here for this clear idea. Here we can see the 6 countries comparison of HDI in 2014 for the 4 different type of categories, that is per capita income, average life expectancy at birth, expected years of the schooling, average number of years in school. So Norway, America and China, we can see the Norway on the top of the list of HDI, and India are 130 positions, and in Niger at one of the last position of 188. Why? Because of the value of HDI we can see it the closer to 1, that is Norway 0.944, while India at 130 position. Why? Because there are 0.609 value, and the last number of Niger is committed 0.348 value, that is far from 1. So the rank is 188. These all are considered for the 4 stages, that is 64992 of Norway per capita income, average life 81 year and more, expected schooling year 7.5, and average number of school 12.6. While we compare this data with our India, our per capita